have the puck.
And he was moving and like
To the final game of the Roseau tournament. Your Edina Bantam Hornets will be taking on, once again, Bemidji. It will be a decidedly different look as attrition has taken its toll and we are out Bergmeyer, Potter, and of course JJ. So we're going to have to do some switching up on the lines to get a full complement out at any given time. And at the same time, take another crack at the Lumberjacks from Bemidji. So it's been a tournament of highs and lows as we look one more time to rise to the challenge and come away with a victory as we hit the road soon after for a very long bus ride. So we're just moments away from puck drop. On the Jacks side as well, they have issues. They've lost their number one goalie, and they had to pull up a peewee goalie. So he's on the shorter side, in my understanding. But now I do see a tall goalie going in between the pipes. So maybe a quick recovery? I don't know. But we're going to start out with Ewers, Nolan, and Ferrara, backed up by Mizzle and Potts. So off the draw, puck comes back to Mizzle. Mizzle looks up, goes D to Potts. Potts slides it up to Ewers on the line. Nolan gains and throws down into the Jacks zone. Ferrara chasing in the near side corner. Here come the Jacks on the reverse, picked up by Mizzle. Mizzle loses the handle and sneaks all the way down. Jacks now trying to set up something. Out front, bounces off the cage. They look again to center. Wheeling around, there it is. Stopped out front by Nolan. Swept up on the wall and pinched by the Jacks D. Now they drive in on the net, short side. It's out front. Swept aside by Ewers. He throws it up to Ferrara. Ferrara sneaking it up to Nolan, who tips it into the Lumberjacks zone. Lumberjacks trying to reverse course. Nolan tying up his man in the far side corner. A lot of boys piled up. The games have taken their toll, and we have a slower pace so far out of the gate. Still piled up. Now the Jacks come away, cycle behind their net, start their breakout. Long stretch pass through the red line. Trying to roll in. Darlene does a good job stick checking away. Hester trying to drive the puck. Here come the Jacks as they roll in. Helmer sweeps it away. Well done. Ivany behind the net, battling his man. Helmer in to help out. Still piled up. Jacks come away. Still driving behind the net. Looking to center. Sneaks up to the far side board. Dorsey works his man. Pushes him to the outside. Puck down to the near side corner. Jacks looking to extract some damage. A save by Bambry. As Helmer picks it up and looks to advance. Hester tries to drive it up the wall. Jacks persistent in their forecheck as they hold the zone and now drive in on the circle. One-time shot turned away by Bambry. He did a little backside save, which was interesting and very effective. Darlene throwing it around to the far side. Dorsey sweeps it out just beyond Hester's reach, and we get an offsides. So no score. With a shade under 15 on the clock. As Wilkins, Kurvita, and Nolan roll on, backed up by Potts and Mizzle. Face off just outside the Hornet zone. Nolan on the drop. Puck swept up in the air, contained by the Jacks D as they press up on the far side. Boys battling at mid-ice. Jacks now throw it down into the Hornet zone, looking to set up shop. Back at the point, held, firing. High shot, turned away by Bambry. Wilkins on the near side. Throwing it all the way up, just a bit too far for Nolan. And Kurvita picks up, banging away, trying to advance the puck over the line. Sled back to Potts. Potts pushing it up. Intercepted by the Jacks as they now roll on the left side, gaining the line. All the way back, Nolan pinches it up. Kurvita bangs it out, and this one's going to go down for an icing at 14-15. So we'll get a face-off to the right of Bambry. As Ivan E. Ewers and Ferrara are on, backed up by Darlene and Helmer. Ivany on the draw. Up on the wall, Darlene pitches it up high. Can it be contained? Just a bit too far for Ewers. And the puck slides back. Ivany trying to advance it up to Ewers. He does. Over to Ferrara. Ferrara gains on the left side. He sweeps it down and it's picked up by a Jacks defender as they cycle around the net looking for a breakout. Hot pass a little bit too far. And the Hornets try to pitch it back in. Ivany now breaking across the line. Looking. Pulling it back, resetting. Sending over to Darlene. Darlene back to Ivany. Ivany looks up ice. Long stretch pass over to Ewers. Ewers gains on the right side. Trying to walk his way around. Jacks pinning him up into the corner. Now the Jacks cycle. Looking up, stolen by Ivany. He's pinned against the wall by two Jacks. Ferrara in to help out. Banging away. Ferrara taken down. Now the Jacks from their own zone. Looking up ice. Trying to sneak it across. Ferrara's going to break back in. Now wheeling Ferrara, sliding it to Ivany. Ivany doodle. Looking, sliding. All the way down to Ferrara, or Darlene in the backcourt. Now down to Dorsey in the corner. Hornets going off for line change. He doesn't have a lot of help as he slides his way around the corner. Back to Helmer. Helmer looks, slides it back to Helmer again. Helmer down to Darlene. Darlene right across. No connection there. This is Jack's reverse course through mid-ice. Helmer driving in, looking from the circle to Hester. Hester bangs it. There's Nolan. Yes, it's a goal. Did you see it? It just snuck in. And the Hornets draw first blood. Nolan picking it up right in the crease area, throwing it right behind. Just a soft little backhander. And the Hornets go up 1-0 with 12:37. Nolan on the draw, comes back to Potts. Potts slides it to Mizzle. Mizzle looks up ice. Pitching it down into the Jack zone. Dorsey gives chase into the corner, deflects it up on the side wall. Jack's now trying to advance. Potts stops it short. Now works his way in, sliding over to Nolan. Nolan from the circle, firing a shot, turned away by the Jacks tender. Nolan pinned up on the wall, looking to break it through. There's Dorsey. Can he get it to center? No, he's stick checked away. Here come the Jacks, sliding a long stretch pass all the way back. Mizzle, last man, holds up his man. Well done, Mizzle. Now the Jacks look to set up. Back to the point. A quick shot, turned away by Potts. As the Jacks hold court down in the Hornet zone. Pressing. Looking to get it up. A one-time cranker. That was certified fresh cranker. Turned away by Banbury. Well done. And the Hornets avoided certain peril. As Ivany, Wilkins, and Ewers roll on. Backed up by Helmer and Darlene. Back to the point. Jacks throw it down deep. Looking to cycle around the net. Picked up by Darlene. Darlene up to Ewers. Ewers looking. Long saucer over to Wilkins, and Wilkins drives into the Jack zone. Battling his man on the wall. Continues down to the corner. Good job by Wilkins to now Ivany behind the net. Looking to center back. Darlene firing. Saved by the Jacks tender. Now Kavita replaces Ewers on the line. And we'll get a face-off to the left of the Jacks tender. Ivany set to take the drop. Right out to Kavita. Kavita's tied up, and the Jacks look up ice. Through the neutral zone, they roll with a 3-on-2 situation. Throwing it down into the corner, trying to center it around. It's out front. It's going to sneak out of the zone, and the Jacks will have to reset. From the D, sliding D to D. Looking up ice. Long stretch, intercepted by Helmer, who bangs it up to Ivany. Ivany sliding it to Wilkins. Wilkins gaining on the right side, stopping short, looking. Ivany from the slot. Tried to wheel through. No go. Here come the Jacks on the reverse, rolling up. 2-on-1 situation. Ooh, a hot pass just a little bit too far, and that would have been a 2-on-1. Jacks now working behind the net. Trying to get it out front. Boys banging. Tied up. Ivany Darlene in there. Working it. Jack's come away to the corner. Sliding it back to the point. Looking. Firing. Deflected on a nice stick check there. It slid up. Can Karita get there? No, but oh. And offsides is called. .10:32 on the clock. For those joining us, it's 1-0 Hornets. As Nolan Ferrara and Ewers roll on. Backed up by Potts and Mizzelt. Puck tied up on the dot. Sticks flying. And the Jacks drive it down into the Hornet zone. Mizzle picks up in the near side wall. Right on the circle on the dot. They try to center it across. No go. Jack still controlling. Wheeling around. All the way around. Leaving it at the point. Sent right back down to the dot. Trying to center it. Picked up by Nolan. Nolan sliding it up to Ewers. Ewers stick checks it up. He's driving. He's taken down. No call. Out front. Ferrara battles in the corner against a huge guy. Wheeling, dealing. Nolan pressing his man to the outside. Ferrara comes in, steals the puck momentarily. Boys piled up in the corner. Who's going to come away? I don't know. Now the Jacks on the forecheck, rolling through. Huge guy, rolling down the right side. Walking in around Mizzle, firing shot, trapped away by Banbury. So Hester, Ivany, Dorsey on with Darlene and Helmer. Ivany to take the draw to the left of Banbury. Tied up, slides into the corner, all the way back to the point. Hester tries to break up the action on the line and is sent back down, and Ivany takes it from the corner. Cycling it high off the glass to Darlene, who sweeps it up to Dorsey, just beyond his reach. Jack's driving from the corner, looking to center, all the way around, back to the point. Quick shot, turned away by Banbury. Another shot. I think that was a semi-clanker. And it took the net off its moorings, ever so. Just a whisper of a clanker. And we'll do it again. Ivany sweeping it to Helmer. Helmer boxed out by a bunch of Jack's guys. He throws it up on the wall. Hester bangs it up. It's still contained, and the Jacks throw it down. Back to Helmer. Helmer looks up ice. Tries to slide it across. He's still driving. Stick checked away at the red line. Dorsey bangs his man. Now the Jacks driving in. Stopping short, curling, leaving it on the wall. Intercepted by Dorsey. Just out of Darlene's reach, and it sneaks all the way back down to the corner. Jacks from the near side, looking to set something up. Ferocious forecheck. Ivany holding in the corner, doing a good job, boxing his man out. Helmer in there to help out. Boys piled up. Jacks come away. Now, Hester from the dot. Looks. No one, no help. Tries to jam it up. He's taken up, stood up hard, and the puck sneaks back down. Darlene cycling from behind his net, looking up ice. Up to Dorsey. Dorsey chips it. Yes, contained by Ivany at the red line. He rolls in, gains on the left side. Firing shot, trapped away by the Jacks tender with 8:13. So Nolan, Kurvita, and Wilkins take up the cause. Backed up by Potts and Mizzle, deep in Jack's territory. Puck sneaks back to Potts at the point. He fires, low shot. Off traffic. Wilkins battles his man in the corner as the Jacks cycle behind. Now the breakout. 3-on-2 situation, rolling through the neutral zone, gaining on the left side. Rolling down, stopping short, looking from the top of the circle, firing, hitting traffic. Now, Nolan driving back the other way, chipping up the wall to Kurvita. Kurvita loses the handle on it and sneaks back, and we reverse course. Jacks holding on the line. Now they gain on the left side. Walking in. Mizzle, last man back. Takes care of business. He's boxed out. Here comes Wilkins. Wilkins on the transition up to Nolan. Nolan through the red line. Gains on the left side. Oh, nice toe drag. He walks in. Stick checked at the last moment. Puck driven down into the corner as Kurvita battles his man. Comes away. Now the Jacks roll through the neutral zone. 2-on-2. Rolling. Sliding it across. Tipped away by Mizzle and covered up by Banbury with 7:09 on the clock. Clearly, both teams have lost a step. Speed is not there. Ivany on the draw. Ferrara and Ewers. Darlene and Helmer. Puck comes off the draw, comes away to Ferrara, throws it down to Helmer. Helmer looks, slides it across to Darlene. Darlene saucers it up, tries to get it to Ferrara, held it mid-ice by the Jacks as they punch it into the Hornet zone. All the way back, Ivany cycling behind. Trying to chip it up to the wall to Ewers, deflected. And now Helmer starts up, gets it to Ferrara. Ivany through the neutral zone, gains on the left side, and just taps it down low into the Jack zone. Jack's trying to establish a breakout, held down by the Hornet forecheck. Cycling behind the net, looking up the wall. Darlene trying to hold the line. He can't. Here comes huge guy rolling through. Helmer, last man, stops him short. Darlene picks up the trailer. Held into the zone. Darlene still pressing. Puck up on the wall. Ivany rubbing his man to the wall. Helmer curls, burns, turns. Tried to get it to Ferrara. Bit of a hot pass, and it sneaks back for the Jacks to reset. Hornets going for a line change. Puck tipped up. Oh, we got an offsides there. Fast break. Jacks thought they had an opportunity, but they broke the rules. 5:51 remains in this first frame. Face-off just outside of the Hornet zone. No one on the draw. He's got Hester. He's got Dorsey. Puck slides back to the Jacks D, and they go D to D. Gaining on the left side, walking all the way down around the circle. Dorsey trying to tie up his man. Potts banging away in there as well. Puck still held by the Jacks in the corner. They slide it out into the slot. Nothing but from the tip. Nothing. Still in the air. Batted down. Banging. Still banging. Lots of banging. Puck still held on the dot. A quick shot turned away by Banbury. Jacks are peppering the Hornets from the far side wall. They slide it back. Dorsey tries to hold his man at the point. All the way back down to the corner. Jacks in control on this forecheck. Rolling behind, sliding it up in the near side wall. Now, cycling behind the net. Jacks looking for a lane, back to the point. Holding on the circle. Curling back. Hornets doing a good job, pressing their men to the outside. Just beyond Dorsey's reach, a cranker. It's out front. It's still there. And now it's in the net. This game is now tied, 1-1. Hornets were challenged by establishing a defensive presence, and they paid the price with 4:54 on the clock. So Wilkins, Kravita, Ivany, backed up by Darlene and Helmer. Look to repair the damage. Ivany on the draw. Puck sent out of play. And we'll do it again. Puck slides back to Helmer. Helmer looks across the line and just pitches it down into the Jack zone. Wilkins battling his man, comes over. Now it's out front. Can Ivany? Yes, Ivany, did you see that? He was waiting, yes! And just like that, at 4:36, the Hornets have regained the lead. Smart passing. Ivany, well positioned, slams it home. So we'll keep this hot line out there. Puck back to Darlene, to Helmer. Helmer looks up ice. Slides it to Wilkins. Wilkins gaining on the left side. Jacks pitch it up on the wall and sneaking out of the zone. Foot race for Darlene. Is the last man back. He turns. He's hassled. He's working it. Switches back. Cycles behind the net. Looks up ice. He's going to take it himself. Drops it to Wilkins. Wilkins now pitching it up on the wall. Still maintaining. Up to Ivany. Boys banging. Comes back to Helmer. Helmer looks up ice. Pitches it up on the wall. Jacks hold the zone all the way across. Clanker! But no goal. Helmer on the far side wall, up to Kervita. Kervita snakes it through. He's working it. He's got Wilkins. He's tied up. And I guess it was offsides. With 3:52 on the clock. Nolan Ferrara and Ewers, backed up by Mizzleton Potts. Puck slides back. Jack's charging into the corner. A lot of boys in green piled up there. Comes away to Ewers. Ewers slides it across to Potts. Potts fires over the net. Nice pass by Ewers. Nothing doing as Ewers tries to hold the line. Back to Mizzle. Mizzle slides to Potts. Potts up to Nolan. Nolan gains. Looks. Stops. Short. Wheels. Deals. Back to Potts, intercepted at the last moment, and here's a 2-on-2 as the Jacks drive down, gaining on the right side, dropping a trailer pass, a firing shot over the net. So the Jacks now hold it on the wall. Back to the point. Long shot, off target. Puck steers to the near side. Ferrara trying to box his man to the wall. Puck slides behind the net. Potts retrieves in the corner, slides it up to Ewers. Ewers just can't find the handle on the Jacks' reverse course. Trying to slide it to the near side. Now driving in. Short side, not available. Still looking. Back to the point. Back to the circle. Wheeling in the slot. Firing. Turned away by Bambry. He can't see it. Banging. Now, up to Nolan. Nolan slides it across. And Ewers was going for a line change, so that was thwarted. Huge guy. Driving in on the left side. Around Potts. Trying to slide it home. Nothing. Hester now throwing it up. Oh, and Ivany's stick was just out of position. That would have been a great fast break with 2:20 on the clock. Jacks from behind their net, pinned up by Ivany. Jacks rolling with a long rink-wide pass, no connection, and we shall get an icing. So we'll bring it back down to the Jack zone, and we'll do it again. Dorsey, Ivany, and Hester, backed up by Darlene and Helmer. Ivany on the draw. Sliding back to Helmer. Helmer to Darlene. Darlene looks. Pitches it up high, back behind the net. Ivany's there. Dorsey helping out. Dorsey boxing his man out. Comes into the crease area. Now sliding up for a breakout on the Jack side. Wheeling it up on the wall. Helmer does a good job pinching, stopping play at the red line. Hester banging. Everyone banging. Helmer sent to the ice. Now the Jacks try to slide it D to D. Slid away by Dorsey, who pitched up to Hester on his backside. And the Jacks retrieve in their own zone. Long rink-wide pass up, rolling, gaining on the left side. Jacks in, trying to center it across. Steered away by Helmer. Well done. Darlene battling his man in the corner. There's going to be penalties on this. And we're going to get a coincidental here on both sides. Roughing is the call. I think the Hornets need another skater. Hester rolls on late. Still got Nolan, Dorsey, and Hester out there, backed up by Mizzle and Potts. Puck comes away to Hester, who drives through the red line, slicing his way, gaining on the left side, sneaks away around, taken down, and now the Jacks reverse course the other way with speed, rolling through the neutral zone. A pass did not connect. Mizzle controls from his own zone. Long rink wider, just beyond Dorsey's reach. Nolan streaking in to see if he can't take advantage. And the Jacks reverse course up ice with speed. gaining on the right side, trying to walk around Mizzle, still held to the outside, tried to center it. Mizzle kicked it with his skate. Up on the near side wall, Dorsey takes a whack at it. He tried to pitch it up to Hester. He's still trying to work his way around, and the Jacks blast it down to the near side where Mizzle picks it up. Long pass, just off target. Hester was open. Intercepted by Dorsey, who throws it down and goes for a line change. Less than 30 seconds to play in this opening frame. Ivany goes to Helmer. Helmer back to Ivany. From the backcourt, looking up to Hester. Hester one times to Nolan. Nolan from the red line. Pitches it down. Kavita gives chase. As he's all alone down there, battling a couple Jacks. They try to sneak it through on a fast break, and this will go down. Icing is waved off. Ivany from behind his net. Reverses course. Looks up ice. Now back to Helmer. Helmer does the same. Through the red line, and we expire play as the clock shows zeros. So there you have it, 2-1 Hornets, and we'll be back. Maybe people are on their phone. I don't know.
All right, we're back on.
All right, start of the second period. Hornets up 2-1. Coincidental still in play as Darlene is in the box. And we'll start out with Ewers, Kervita, and Wilkins, backed up by Potts and Mizzelt. Ewers to take the drop at center ice. Puck tied up on the dot. Jacks come away. Gain on the left side. Streaking down on the circle. Firing. Turned to stick away by Bambury. Banging off equipment. Puck thrown into the corner. Potts pushing his man to the outside. Ewers in, driving his man. Slides down to the near side boards. Back behind the net. A bit too far and all the way around to the other corner. Puck slides behind the net. Jacks positioning well. Back to the point. A long shot. Off target. Kervita tries to meet the ball on the side. Tried to chip it up. No go. As the Jacks are still holding. Nice check by Ewers. Putting his man into the boards. Puck slides out of the Jacks zone. Or the Hornets zone. And goes all the way down for an icing. So the coincidentals have been cleared. Darlene on work release program. And he's back on the ice. Nolan, Ferrara, and Dorsey Backed up by Darlene and Helmer. From the point, firing shot. Trapped away by Banbury. I think that was going wide, but it looked cool all the same. Nolan on the draw. Puck sneaks back to the slot. Quick shot, hits traffic from the point again. A tip shot, no good. Jack's controlling from the corner. Blowing a tire. Now Dorsey tries to slide it up, gets it to Nolan, all the way over to Ferrara. Ferrara leaves it behind, and the Jacks reverse course and throw it right back down into the Hornet zone. Jacks from the corner. Darlene ties up his man momentarily. They say drive in on the short side. Now back to the point. Jacks go D to D as they look to take a shot. Right into Banbury's breadbasket for another stop. Hornets got to play possession hockey here. Can't just slap at it, boys. As Mizzle and Potts roll in. Nolan on the draw. Tied up, sent back to Potts. Potts shifts it around to Mizzle. Mizzle looks up ice. Long stretch pass up to Nolan. Nolan breaking, trying to get it up to Dorsey. Just beyond his reach. Reversing course, the Jacks throw it down into the Hornet zone. Mizzle picks up behind the net. Tries to slide it to Potts. Potts jams it up the wall. Dorsey does the same. Tied up. Always banging away. Dorsey trying to chip it and chisel it up the wall. Potts tries to sneak it out. It just does. And the Jacks will have to reset. Up the near side wall. Jacks looking for an outlet. Gaining on the right side. And an offsides is called with 14:54 on the clock. As Ivany, Hester, and Ewers roll in, lines are scrambled all over the place today. Jackson into the zone momentarily. Ivany throws it out, and the Jacks just return the favor and drive down the left side. Centering across, wide open, but stopped by the Hornets with traffic. From the point, another shot, another tip, another rebound. Up to Ewers. He cannot gain possession, and the Jacks just throw it right back down. Mizzle from behind the net. Trying to gain control, trying to pitch it up to Ewers. Boxed out by Huge Guy, who tries to drive in. Still looking for a lane around the circle. Hugeness. And it goes up into the webbing on a deflected, contested shot. So we got Nolan, Kervita, and Wilkins. Helmer and Darlene. Darlene from the corner, sliding up to Nolan, just off his skates. Can't control it, and the Jacks retrieve in their own zone and blast it up the wall. Darlene from the blue line, all the way across to Wilkins. Wilkins gaining on the left side, trying to walk in, battling two Jacks into the corner. Kervita tried to pinch it up on the wall behind the net. Tried again. These Jacks are pesky on the breakout. Sliding all the way across, chipped up by Helmer on the line, but picked up by the Jacks as they roll through the red line. Stopped by Kervita. Just a bit too far. Jacks now gaining on the right side, walking in, trying to center. Wilkins picks it up. Wilkins surveys to Nolan. Nolan driving down the right side, and an offsides is indeed the call with 13:27 on the clock. So Ivany, Ferrara, Ewers, Potts, and Mizzle. Puck back to Potts. Potts goes D to D to Mizzle. Mizzle chips it down deep into the Jacks territory. Ewers meets his man on the wall. Boys banging, trying to gain possession. Here come the Jacks, rolling through, stopped short by Ivany on the line. He tries to drive in, gets it to Ewers. Ewers looks across to Ivany. Oh, waffled away. Beautiful combination. Ivany meets his man on the wall. Ferrara into battle. Ivany still jamming on that wall. Everyone's jamming. Jacks come away. Long rink-wide pass, deflected, and Potts will have to roll down to pick this one up. And something happened. I believe it was an icing. Yes, icing is the call. 12:49 ticks on the clock. Puck will come back into the Jacks' end. And we'll do it again. Harvey on the draw. Jacks from behind their net, sliding up on the far side boards, breaking through the neutral zone. Sliding it all the way across. Should be an offsides, and it is. Puck sent back, Jacks control, and they try to push it up on the wall, met by Mizzle. He mishandles it. Now the Jacks are driving in, going low, going around, banging, nothing. Mizzle from his own corner, sliding it up to Ivany, push back down, and they'll have to do it again. Potts from behind his net, trying to slide it around, boxed out. Ivany comes in relief. Ivany trying to slide it up to Ewers. Now right out front, banging, and the net is off its moorings. The recurring theme of tortured breakouts is a story the Hornets have to finish. Nolan on the draw. Back to the point, the Jacks look, trying to slide it, rolls over the net harmlessly, Jacks from the corner. Looking to establish. All the way back to the point, a firing shot, tipped by Dorsey. Darlene battling a man in the corner, now Nolan punching it behind the net. Still free, still dangerous, as the Jacks get it top of the circle, looking. Trying to establish a lane around Nolan. Out front, nobody there for the connection. Jacks still pressing hard on this forecheck. Back to the point, long shot, tip, off to the side. Hornets got to get to this puck. Come on, boys. Helmer taken down in the corner. Nolan in, trying to help out. Back to the point. And it sneaks over the Jacks as they go D to D and look to reestablish. Thrown back down into the Hornet zone. Darlene ties this man up. Comes away to Hester. Hester rolling now. That's Helmer. Helmer up to Dorsey. Lifts a stick, trying to punch it through. Can they get it out of the zone? That would be a start. Now up on the wall. From the Jacks' end, they look to punch it through the red line and gain on the right side. Walking down, shot goes wide. Jacks in complete control. I don't think the Hornets have made one pass in the last 30 seconds. Now, Jacks reestablishing. Up on the wall. Long stretch pass intercepted by Darlene. Throwing it to Dorsey. For an offsides with 10:32 on the clock. So Ivany, Wilkins, Kravita, Potts, Mizzle. Back to Mizzle. Mizzle looks up ice, slides to Potts. Potts up to Kravita. Just past his skate and sneaks into the Jacks zone. From the corner, they ring it around, all the way around. Back to Mizzle at the point. One shot, deflected away. Jacks now driving through, gaining on the left side. Ivany keeping his man to the outside, slides up. Potts breaking through, trying to slide it up to Kravita. Thwarted at the last second at the blue line. Jacks punching it back down to Mizzle. Mizzle up to Wilkins. Wilkins now gains with Kravita. Rolling down the left side, trying to center it over. Puck deflected. Wilkins still driving it down to Kravita behind the net, banging away, all the way back to Mizzle at the point. He pushes it back down to Kravita. Kravita from behind the net. He's pinched out. Wilkins comes in. Jacks avoided check, and they slide it up for the breakout. All the way across, slicing through the red line, gaining on the left side with speed, rolling around, trying to center. Short side stuffer, turned away. Kravita picks it up, slides it back to Potts. Potts Boy, these Jacks are pressing. It's a matter of time here from the point. Shot goes wide. Wilkins looks up ice, strides it up to Nolan, or to Ivany, and the Hornets just bang it down and get a well-needed line change. Now the Jacks try to take advantage of the transition. Nolan will be the first man back. From behind his net, long stretch pass on the backside of Ewers. He can't contain it. Jacks rolling in from the circle. It's out front. It's swept away by Ferrara. Banging away. That was Helmer, by the way. Still out front. Still tipped away. Another cranker. And this game is tied. I told you it was a matter of time. The Hornets have to pick it up and find that next gear. 2-2 with 8:44 on the clock. Ref doing some goal maintenance. Nolan set to take the draw with Ewers and Ferrara, backed up by Darlene and Helmer. Comes away, Ferrara slides it to Helmer. Helmer up ice to Nolan. Nolan looking. Toe drags again, picked off by the Jacks as they reverse course. Darlene is there to stop it. Darlene shoveling it down into the Jacks' end as the Jacks cycle behind the net. Nolan doing a good job disrupting play, but the Jacks come away. Rolling up on the fast break. Darlene, last man back. Tries to sweep it away. He does. Held at the line by huge guy. Rolling down, trying to center it. Picked off by Darlene. Up to Ewers. Ewers looks across. A little floater pass. Doesn't connect. And now it's picked up by Ewers right on the line as he can't find the puck. Still working it. Banged away. Here come the Jacks on a 3-on-3. Helmer does a good job stick checking away. Held in the corner, sweeping all the way around. Clanker! Did not go in. Steered aside by Bambury, now behind the net. Helmer looking up ice. Hornets have definitely lost a step. Ferrara being totally hooked. Here comes Nolan with Ewers, rolling in. A shot goes sailing wide. Now the Jacks roll back the other way on the transition. Firing shot, another shot over the net. Lots of shots over the net. Mizzle trying to hold his man to the outside. Bambury stopping a shot from a bad angle, held at the point, low shot, turned away by Bambury, and finally covered up. Scrum out front. And second man in syndrome, Ewers will be showing the gate, and at 7:10 the Hornets will be down a man. Hester on the draw. Jack's trying to drive around the net, looking for a lane. From the corner. Looking. Back to the point. Back to the other point. Now driving in on the dot. Looking. Hornets doing a good job holding their people to the outside. Now back to the point again. Down to the circle. Looking for a lane. Back to the point. Back to the circle. Across the crease. Banging. And a textbook 1-2-3. And Bemidji has their first lead of the game, 3-2. .6:45 on the clock. Hornets down a goal. They're going to have to they're going to have to dig deep. They're going to have to do a lot of things. As this game has taken a turn. We got Dorsey, Ivany, and Hester, backed up by Darlene and Helmer. Puck tied up, slides back to Helmer. Helmer goes over to Darlene. Darlene looking up ice, gets it to Hester. Hester rolls through on the right side. Stops short, still continues. Rolling, pinned up on the wall. Ivany in to help out, Dorsey out front. Boys banging, picked up by the Jacks as now they roll for a breakout. Up through the neutral zone, 3-on-2 brewing as they roll through, losing the puck on the line. Trying to center it out front, swept away. Darlene working it, sends the puck around to the far side corner. Helmer there. Steals the puck up, chipped up by Hester, and sent down into the Jacks zone. Dorsey giving chase. To no avail, Darlene on the line. Throwing it back down, and we get an offsides with 5:57. So Nolan, Kavita, Wilkins, Potts, Mizzelt. Hornets need a goal. Master of the obvious, but we need one. Jack's thrown out of the circle. We'll do it again. Nolan on the draw. Jacks go D to D and swipe it up through the neutral zone where it's pushed right back down. They will try again. Up the left side, tapped into the Hornet zone. Potts pitches it out. Jacks look to reset from the red line. All the way across. Mizzelt now has to sweep it around. It's still in the crease. It's still banging. Banbury has to make a quick save. Out front again. Back to the point. Driving in. Firing. And Banbury covers up. Potts working his man behind the net. Cross-ice pass back to the point. Low shot. Turned away. And the Hornets are literally standing on their feet. Not moving. As the Jacks are working around. From the corner. Hornets holding it up on the wall. Jacks wheeling around. Intercepted by Nolan. Nolan now through the red line, gaining on the right side, walks into the slot area, firing. And the net is off its moorings. Some people thought it was in, but it wasn't. And we'll get a face-off in the Lumberjack end. With Ferrara, Ewers, and Ivany, backed up by Darlene and Helmer. Jacks from the near side wall, banging away. Ferrara sneaks it past. Ferrara taken down. We're going to get a man advantage off of that. Tripping call. Thank you, referee. And your Hornets will be on the power play at 4:51 for the next 2 minutes. So a little redemption time. As Wilkins, Ivany, and Ewers are on, backed up by Darlene and Ferrara. Puck tied up on the dot. Jack's trying to gain possession. Boys all piled up. Quick shot by Ivany up into the webbing. Tried a low angle shot. I wonder if it would help to reduce the curve on these sticks because everyone shoots it over. Ivany on the draw. Boys trying to gain possession. Sneaks to Ewers. Ewers from the short side. Tried to stuff her. Nothing. Banging. Nothing. Ewers comes away. Looks at his options. Back to Ferrara at the point. Ferrara to Darlene. Darlene down to Ivany. Ivany looks. Short sider. Saved by the Jacks tender. Minute and a half left in the man advantage. Jacks from the corner, up high in the slot, chipped out of the zone. Darlene from his own blue line, sliding across to Ferrara, or Helmer, or Ferrara. 22-27 look very similar. Puck up on the wall, all the way back to Ivany in his own zone, throwing it up to Ferrara. Ferrara looking, sliding it across to Darlene. Darlene resetting, trying to gain a lane, losing the puck, throwing it up on the wall. Come on, boys. Picked up by the Jacks as they roll in. Turned away by Ferrara from his knees, working it. Sliding it over to Darlene. Stretch pass to Ivany through the red line, gaining on the right side. Rolling in. Losing the puck momentarily. Jacks tying up in the corner. Comes away to Wilkins. Wilkins looking. He's knocked off the puck. Boy, these Hornets can't establish as the Jacks rip it out of the zone and send it all the way down for an icing. So 26 seconds left on the man advantage, 3:16 on the clock. The score is 3-2 in favor of Bemidji. As Nolan, Hester, and Dorsey roll on with Mizzle and Helmer. Puck tied up on the dot, comes back to Hester. Hester leaves it to Mizzle. Mizzle slides across the blue line, looking, firing. Waffled away by the Jacks tender. Jacks now looking for a fast break. Sliding a saucer pass, intercepted by Nolan. 3-on-2 brewing. Nolan rolling in. Looking from the circle. Sliding it back to Nolan on the wall. Nolan looking. From the circle, driving in, down to Hester. Hester back to Nolan. Nolan looking, back to Mizzle. Mizzle from the high point, firing. Tipped away in traffic. Dorsey now sliding it back to Helmer. Helmer chipping up the boards, down to Hester. Tried to slide it across to Nolan, but intercepted by a Jack. Dorsey sliding it back to Helmer. Helmer cranker, tip, out front. Yes, no, nothing. So close. Nolan driving down. Here's a 3-on-2 for your Jacks. Not our Jacks. From the corner, overskating the puck. Mizzle rolls in, tries to stop it. Jacks driving. Both teams at full strength. Out front, nobody home for the centering pass, and it sneaks all the way down into the Jack zone with 2 minutes to play in this period. Long stretch pass, doesn't connect. Helmer back in his own zone to pick it up. Sweeps it up the boards, stopped short by the Jacks, who reset in the neutral zone. Hot pass, no go. Dorsey slides it up. Hester knocked off the puck as the Jacks trying to work it out of their own zone. Nolan, weak shot on net, turned aside. Darlene, opposite corner. Trying to roll in, trying to gain possession as the Jacks now look up ice. Long stretch pass, intercepted by the Hornets. Darlene reversing course on the line, throwing it right back down. Minute and a half to play in this second frame. Things opening up for both sides now. Stretch pass, stopped on the line by Darlene. Over to Ivany. Ivany on the wall, looks at his options. Stopping short, tied up by 2 Jacks. Wilkins comes in to help out. Who's going to come away? I don't know. Still in Wilkins' skates, still driving, and now it sneaks out of the zone. Here's a foot race. Darlene's got to get there. It's a foot race still. Driving in. Bambury comes out. Well done, Bambury. Potts driving up on the wall. Comes back to Darlene. Less than a minute to play. Up to Ivany. Ivany tries to peel around. He's knocked to the ice. Tried to toe drag it around. And the puck is now on the line, sliding up. Lots of extracurriculars behind with Darlene. Now back down to action in the Hornets' end. Ivany from his own corner. Jack still controlling, throwing it back to the point, looking. All the way up on the wall, from the circle, from the dot, firing. Turned away by Bambury. 30 seconds left. Back to the point. They go D to D and look for a lane. A short shot into traffic, banging away, but nothing. Puck goes down into the corner. Darlene trying to cycle it up to Wilkins. 13 seconds left as Curvita races with Wilkins into the Jack zone, and the Hornets just go for a line change. Long stretch opportunity. Here it comes. Jack's on the line. Now peeling in. A cranker. Soft shot turned away, and that is your period. A lot of action there in the last 2 minutes, but no goals. As we're going to get a resurface here. With the score, Bemidji 3, Hornets 2. I think we're getting a resurface. Yep, all the boys are coming off. We'll see you in 10.
Yeah, it's insane.
Okay, final period. Roseau, 2025. Hornets down a goal, 3-2, with the final 17 minutes on the clock. Let's hope the coaches gave a stirring Herb Brooks-like speech to drive the point home that the Hornets have to dig deep. So we're going to start with Nolan, Ferrara, and Ewers. Jack's off the draw, driving down the right side, looking to center that pass out front. Hits the side of the net, trying to bang it around. Nolan sliding it up to Ewers. Ewers chipping it across, intercepted at the line by the Jacks as they roll all across the circle. Off Mizzle's skate. They try again a center. Back to the point, and it sneaks all the way out of the Hornet zone, and the Jacks reset on their own end. Going D to D to D. Ewers in to break it up. Just past Nolan's stick. Mizzle now takes up the cause, sweeps back, tries to center across. Nolan firing up to Ferrara. Ferrara, long shot, contested by a stick on the Bemidji side as they cycle from the corner. Nolan stood up on the wall. Ferrara walking across, now to Ewers. Ewers from the circle, firing. Waffled away by the Jacks tender. Jacks trying to get it out of the zone, finally do. Helmer picks up the puck in his own end. He looks up ice. Through the red line, he just chucks it down deep and goes for a line change. Jacks reversing course, rink wide, stepped up as Helmer, picked up by Ivany, who sweeps up through the red line. Met at the line, and the puck goes down into the Jacks zone. Jacks working up the left side, picked up by Dorsey. Dorsey curling around, sliding back to Darlene. Just a bit too far for Helmer's stick, and the Jacks punch it up the wall once again. Jacks from driving from the corner, losing the handle on the puck. Darlene comes to meet his man. All the way around, still curling, still burning, still churning. Darlene holding his man back to Ivany. Ivany looks up ice to Darlene. Darlene up the wall to Dorsey. Dorsey chipping it up. It's going to be get by Ivany. Yes, no, nothing. Jacks reversing course. Rink wide pass. Now gaining on the right side and punching it all the way down and all the way across. Darlene punched out. Pinned up to the wall. Ivany now circling, burning up the ice. Trying to gain possession. Finally does. Looking. Long rink wider to Hester. Hester sliding up to Darlene. Darlene throwing into the zone. The Hornets go for a full-scale line change. Jacks from their own zone. They go D to D. Look up ice. Sliding it all the way across. Intercepted by Potts at the red line. Boys banging away. Nolan comes away. Pitching it into the zone. Stopped short by the Jacks as they look to transition the other way. Up on the wall. Met by Wilkins, who throws it in, and we get an offsides with 14:14 on the clock. So we got Wilkins, Nolan, Kavita, Potts, and Mizzle. Puck flies into the Jacks zone. They pitch it out, held by Mizzle on the line. Puck chipping away on the line. Nolan battling his man. Wilkins in to dig. And the Jacks go D to D on the reset. Through the neutral zone, gaining on the left side, rolling down. Wilkins pushes his man to the outside. Potts doing the same, holding his man. Nolan in to help out. Chipped away there, held at the point, driving in. Pulled away by Potts, up to Wilkins. Wilkins all the way across to Nolan. Nolan meets his man on the wall. Momentarily out, and now we get an offsides with 13:32 on the clock. Ivany Ferrara, Ewers. Puck punched down into the Jacks zone. They slide it up on the wall. Ivany disrupts the play. Ewers in on the wall. Puck goes rink wide, picked up by Helmer on the reset. Tries to chip it up the wall, loses the handle. Now out front, and Bambury has to cover up. I think Darlene gets the feistiness award this game. He's taking exception to some of the behavior on the Bemidji side. Irony on the draw. Puck sent back to the point. Jacks tried to throw it out front, swept away by Ewers. Ewers throws it out, intercepted at the point. Another firing shot over the net. Jacks from the corner, sending it back to the point. A cranker. Puck was on its edge as Ewers tries to pitch it out, held at the point. Jacks throw it back to the point again. Looking. No lanes available. Down low. Jacks trying to center it out front. There it is. Tipped away by Banbury. Irony now. Rolling through the neutral zone. Gaining on the left side. All the way down. Stopping short. Tip just as he did a toe drag. And reversing course are the Jacks as they slide it down. And they pull themselves off sides. With 12:27 on the clock.
Are you on the world side? I'm trying to, but I don't have.
Nolan on the draw with Hester and Dorsey. Backed up by Mizzleton and Potts. Just outside the Hornet zone. Hester battles on the wall. Jacks come away. Trying to center it. Pushed down by Mizzle. Now controlling from the corner. Back to the point. Jacks hold the line and throw it right back down. Mizzle from the corner. Trying to cycle around. Potts throws it up. Held at the point. A cranker into crowd. Now it's Hester. Hester driving. He's got Dorsey and Nolan. Rolling through all the way across. Beautiful save by a defenseman. That would have been right on Dorsey's stick. Dorsey from the corner. Sliding it back to Potts. Potts unloads. Over the net. Dorsey tries to chip it out front again. Tied up by his man. Battling. And now the Jacks try to strip it out and throw it out, and they do. Helmer steps up nicely. Curls in the neutral zone and looks at his options. All the way across the ice. Tried to send it up to Nolan. Intercepted. Dorsey back. Throwing it to Darlene. Darlene to Helmer. Helmer looks up ice. Chips it up into the zone, and Wilkins chases down into the corner. Tying up his man. Trying to get control. Battling. It's out front. Now reversing course. The Jacks throw it up on the wall with speed. Rolling into the zone. Darlene holding his man in the outside. Picked up by Helmer. Helmer tried to center it across. Here's a pick by the Jacks as they roll in. Helmer holding to the outside. Jacks rolling around the net. Back to the point. Looking for a lane. Shot contested as it goes awry behind the net. Jacks still holding it out front. Nice dig by Curvita as Wilkins takes a fall. Out of the zone. Jacks throw it D to D. Looking up ice through the red line. Now gaining on the left side. Jacks with numbers. On the wall. Pitching down. Darlene working his man. Battling. Ivany behind the net. Ivany throwing it up to Darlene. Far side corner. Darlene goes rink wide to Wilkins. Wilkins fires it up. Just picked off at the last second. That would have been a beautiful shot to Curvita. As the Jacks look to push it down. Now they have a 2-on-1 brewing. Over Helmer's stick. Rolling in across. Swept aside by Darlene. Well done. From the point. Another shot. Ooh. Darlene almost put it in himself as he flings it up the wall and held down by the point. From the circle. Jacks. Quick shot. Turned away by Banbury. Jacks in control on this forecheck as they roll from the point. Shot goes wide. Jacks curling from the corner. In on the dot. Back to the point. They can't hold. And the Hornets need a line change, and they get one. Fast break by the Jacks, rolling up on the line. Miss pass all the way down. Ewers picks it up behind the net. Rolling up, long stretch on the backside of Nolan with under 10 minutes to play. Nolan sneaks it past his man all the way over. Intercepted by the Jacks, who try to roll out of their zone. Ewers in to pickpocket. Jacks long stretch, tipped down by Nolan. Still in control. Nolan sends it up to Ewers. Ewers from the red line. Looks at his options. Gains on the right side. Toe drags around. Stopped by the Jacks. Nolan now driving in. Quick shot. Turned aside. Back down to the near side corner. Good forecheck by the Hornets as they're holding the zone. Sliding across. The Jacks now pitch it up. Can it be held? Yes, it can. Nolan working it in. Oh, and he tried to pass it down to Ewers. No go. As the puck slides harmlessly behind the net. Carrara meeting his man, stopped short. Potts banging his man out in the Hornet zone, sneaks out of the zone. Jacks pick it up at mid-ice and pitch it back down for an offsides with 8:42 on the clock. And the score stubbornly remains Bemidji 3, Hornets 2. Hester, Dorsey, Ivany, Darlene, Helmer. Puck slides down into the Jacks zone. And the Jacks cycle behind the net. Having trouble picking up the puck as it skirts along the boards. Ivany on the far side corner meets his man. Jacks pitch it out of the zone. Darlene tries to corral it. Helmer's got to come in and bang it away. He does. Man free for a moment as the Hornets battle on the wall. On the top of the circle, looking for a shot. Into traffic. Slid down low. Jacks looking across into the slot. They're banging. Nothing. Jacks from the corner, once again showing a mastery of control. Shot there. Turned aside. We're going to get a penalty. Helmer will be shown the gate. And the Hornets will be shorthanded with just under 8 minutes to play. Rough and call. As Dorsey and Hester will be on with Potts and Mizzelt. Dorsey on the draw to the right of Banbury. Puck slides back to the point. They go D to D, looking for a shot, looking for an open lane. Dorsey holding his man. On to the outside, down to the corner. Back to the point. Sliding across the line. Now down. Hester holding his man. Back to the point. Hornets doing a good job containing him to the outside. Down low, looking for a lane. Patience, all the way across. Banbury makes the save. Pinching up, and Dorsey pitches it out of the zone. Racing after it is Hester. As the Jacks now reset. Good pressure by Hester to hold his man down deep. Now the Jacks reverse course, looking to slide it up, gaining the line on the right side. Mizzelt holding his man. A shot saved by Banbury, and now it slides out of the zone once again. Hester once again pestering his man. Gaining on the right side, the Jacks drive down. Dorsey rubs his man out, holding at the line. Now from the point into the slot area, firing shot saved by Banbury. One minute remains in the Bemidji man advantage with 7 minutes on the clock. So Nolan and Ivany roll on. With Wilkins and Darlene. Puck sneaks into the corner. Darlene corralled. Another Jack comes in to help out. Slides back to the point. They go D to D from the high slot down to the circle. Looking, back to the point. Jack setting up shop, down to the circle, looking to fire. Clanker! No goal. Now down deep again. Hornets holding the outside into the slot. Saved by Banbury on the leg. Now it's Nolan chipping up the wall. Nolan streaking down, looking to break in. Swept aside by the Jack tender. 24 seconds left in the man advantage as the Jacks roll from their own zone through the neutral zone. Darlene pinches up, pushes it all the way back down, and we get an icing. 13 seconds left in the power play. Nolan on the draw, swept back behind the net. Darlene tries to fire it across, held up. Jacks now from the corner, looking. From the point, firing shot, turned aside by Banbury. Penalty over. Kervita bangs it out of the zone, high sticking. And we got a whistle on that. 5:52 on the clock. Hornets back at full strength. So we got Nolan's, Wilkins, Kavita, Helmer, Darlene to the face-off to the left of the Bemidji tender. Nolan on the draw, swept away, cycling behind. The Jacks look to break out. Through the neutral zone with speed, rolling, picked up by Wilkins deep in Hornet territory. We're going to get a penalty. Interference. And Helmer is going right back into the box. So, Hornets will be shorthanded with 5:41 on the clock. Not doing themselves any favors, as they're going to have to dig deep. Nolan and Wilkins out to kill the penalty. Jacks from the point, looking across, down to the circle. Looking, down low, from the corner, back to the wall. Cycling back to the point, down to the wall. Back to the other point, back to the wall. One-timer Ovechkin style is thwarted. Mizzle tries to pinch it out, held right in the slot, looking, curling. Saved by Bambry, pushed aside. Jacks down low, looking for a lane. All the way back to the point, sliding it across. Thought about a one-time cranker. Wilkins contests that shot, and it slides wide. From the wall. Jacks behind the net. Mizzle pinches his man out, blasts it. Oh, and Nolan tipped it down and actually did the Jacks a favor, holding the zone. Back to the point. Shot knocked down by Bambry. Puck sails over the net. Mizzle tried to bang it out, and now Wilkins finally does, and it slides all the way down. Hornets go for a line change. Nolan chasing. Minute left in the man advantage. This is Jacks reset from their own corner. Rolling up with speed through the neutral zone, gaining on the left side, rolling in. Looking to center it out front, losing the puck, still on the corner. Darlene picks it up. He's going to roll through. He pushes it up to Ferrara, but it's intercepted by the Jacks as they reverse course. Kavita out of the box, intercepts a pass and throws it back down in Jacks territory. Up on the wall, Ivany picks it off. Ferrara wheeling, dealing from his own zone. Over to Darlene to Ivany. Ivany, long pass to Kavita. Picked off and sent right back into there. No, Kavita gets his own. He loses the handle. Jacks on the reverse. 2-on-2, rolling in on the left side. Curling around the wall. Darlene blasts it up to the opposite side. Back to the point. Thrown down low. Darlene's going to pick this one up. He pushes it to Ivany. Ivany now sails through his own zone with 3:33 on the clock. Ivany doing it by himself, rolling down the left side, loses the handle, and pinned up to the wall. Hornets go for a partial line change, both teams at full strength. As the clock ticks down mercilessly. Dorsey from the circle, rolling, quick shot, turned away by the Jacks tender. Jacks up on the line, Ewers holds the zone, pushes it down to Dorsey. Dorsey fires! Contested shot goes wide. Ewers puts his man up on the boards as the Jacks try to break free. Now, through the neutral zone, Darlene rubbing the big guy out. Nicely done as he cycles behind his net. All the way up to Dorsey. Dorsey one-times it. We got a slashing call on Bemidji. This could be what we're looking for with 2:49 on the clock. Hornets on the man advantage. The waning minutes of this game. Hester, Dorsey, Nolan, backed up by Helmer and Mizzle. Puck comes away, back to Mizzle at the point. Slides out of the zone. Hornets will have to reset. Helmer looks up ice. Looks. Slides it up to Hester. Hester wheels it across, intercepted by the Jacks. Hester pestering. Now it's Nolan and Dorsey. 2-on-1 situation if they can do it. Nolan firing. It's in! Did you see it? Bemidji goalie mishandled the catch on the save. It tipped down into the lower corner. And we are tied with 2.5 minutes on the clock. Well done, Nolan. And this just may be the spark, people. Kavita, Wilkins, Nolan on with Mizzle and Potts. Mizzle looks up ice, fires it on net, long shot, goes wide. Kavita to meet it in the corner. Bangs it to Nolan. Nolan from the circle, firing. It's behind him. It's in. It's not in. From the corner, looking. Mizzle from the point, fires, intercepted and blasted down, and Banbury shovels it aside. 2 minutes to play. Puck goes off the side of the net, banging. Potts from the corner, trying to drive it up. He's rubbed out by two Jacks. They're trying to center it. They're rolling it on the dot. Trapped away by Banbury. Extracurriculars. It's frothy. 1:52 on the clock. Nolan on the draw. Puck tied up. Swept on the wall. Here's Kavita. Kavita's totally interfered with. We're going to get a penalty. Interference. And with 1:42 on the clock, the Hornets will be on the man advantage for the balance of this contest. Score knotted at 3. So we got Ivany, Ewers, Wilkins backed up by Ferrara and Darlene. Puck on the dot, comes back to Darlene. Over to Ferrara. Ferrara wheels in, fires. Trapped away by the Jacks tender. Nice low shot. No goal. Face off to the right of the Jacks tender. Ivany on the draw. Puck comes away to Ewers. Ewers slides to Darlene. Darlene looks, fires, no, nothing. Sliding, looking, now firing. Oh, Ewers on the one-timer, just couldn't find it. Ewers back to Ferrara. Ferrara from the point. Over to Darlene. Darlene looks. Shot goes up into the webbing on a tip with 1:17 on the clock. Ewers on the draw. Comes back to Darlene at the point. Looking. From the point down to Ivany. Ivany from the wall. All the way across to Ferrara. Ferrara at the point. Drives in on the circle. All the way across. Ivany. Driving in on the dot. Looking. Back to Darlene. Darlene fires. Low shot. Tip. Nothing. Banging. Saved. 57 seconds on the clock. Ewers on the draw, contained, thrown up on the wall, weird bounce. Ivany holds it, or Ferrara. Now it sneaks out of the zone. Ewers looks from the blue line, throws it over to Darlene. Darlene, back to Ewers. Ewers from the red line, chips it up to Wilkins. Wilkins driving on the left side, throwing it down deep. Ivany on the far side meets the puck. It's held up on the wall, 34 seconds remains. Ivany from the circle, looks, wheels in, fires, contested. And into the webbing with 27 seconds. So Nolan, Hester, Dorsey roll on. Mizzle and Helmer. Nolan on the draw. Puck thrown up on the wall, all the way back down. We get an icing. 19 seconds on the clock. So if a prior game was any indication, it goes straight to shootout, no overtime play. We'll see how it goes. Barring any last-minute goals. Puck tied up on the dot, comes away into the slot area. Hornets just can't seem to find the handle as it slid up on the wall and out of the zone. Last chance for the Hornets. Mizzle loses the handle, driving around, Hornets are there to back them up. And this is going to be a 3-3 tie as it ends in regulation. And we'll see what they do from here. So there will be a 5-minute overtime, normal play. Hornets will have the advantage, man advantage for 18 seconds. If no resolution is found by then, it will go to a shootout. So, Ewers, Wilkins, Ferrara, backed up by Darlene and Ivany. Puck comes back to Darlene, over to Ivany. Ivany through the red line, gains on the right side, slides the puck through down into the corner. Ivany holding on the wall, Jacks come away, and they throw it down to the near side corner. Wilkins meets his man, banging away. Ivany now from the side wall, looking, back to Ferrara. Ferrara unloads. There it is. Back against it's in! Hornets win 4-3 on a shot by Ferrara. I don't know if it was tipped or what, but just 28 seconds into overtime, the Hornets leave the Roseau tournament with a victory in overtime. So there you have it. Sunday hockey at its finest. Hornets winning 4-3 in overtime against Bemidji, avenging the loss that we suffered earlier in this tournament. So it'll be a happy bus ride home, all the way down for 7 hours. So enjoy the rest of your Sunday. We're signing off from Roseau, and we'll see you back in the cities.